Welcome to Easy Driver, the most reliable source of automotive information on YouTube. Please give us a like, share or subscribe. This is part 2 of our combination switch assembly replacement guide. In the last video, we prepared the car and removed the steering column covers. Now, we'll continue with disconnecting the old switch assembly and installing the new one. Let's get started. Step-by-step guide to replacing the combination switch assembly. Replacing your car's combination switch assembly can seem daunting, but with the right steps, it's manageable. Follow this guide to make sure everything goes smoothly. Preparation. Before you start, prepare your car and gather the needed tools. Here's what you need to do. Disconnect the battery, safety first. Disconnect the negative terminal of your car battery to prevent any electrical shorts or shocks. Ensure the vehicle is stationary. Park the car on a flat surface and engage the parking brake. Removing the steering column covers. Next, you'll need to remove the covers around the steering column to access the combination switch assembly. Locate screws. Find the screws holding the steering column covers in place. Usually, these are on the underside of the column. Remove screws. Use a screwdriver to remove these screws. Be careful not to strip them. Separate covers. Gently pull apart the upper and lower covers. You may need to wiggle them slightly to get them off. Disconnecting the old combination switch assembly. Now that you have access to the combination switch assembly, it's time to remove the old unit. Locate wiring connectors. Find the wiring connectors attached to the combination switch assembly. Disconnect wires. Use needle nose pliers to carefully disconnect these wires. Make sure to note where each wire goes for reassembly. Remove mounting screws. Use your socket set to unscrew the bolts holding the switch assembly in place. Take out the old assembly. Gently pull the old combination switch assembly out of the steering column. Installing the new combination switch assembly. With the old assembly removed, it's time to install the new one. Align new assembly. Position the new combination switch assembly in place. Secure with screws. Use the screws you removed earlier to secure the new assembly. Make sure it's tightly fitted. Reconnect wiring. Reattach the wiring connectors to the new assembly. Ensure each wire is correctly placed. Reassembling the steering column covers. Once the new switch assembly is installed, you'll need to reassemble the steering column covers. Position the covers. Align the upper and lower steering column covers. Insert screws. Use your screwdriver to reinsert the screws you removed earlier. Make sure the covers are snug and secure. Testing the new combination switch assembly. Now that everything is back in place, it's time to test the new assembly to ensure it works. Reconnect the battery. Reconnect the negative terminal of your car battery. Test turn signals. Activate the turn signals to see if they work correctly. Check wipers. Turn on the windshield wipers and adjust their speed to ensure they're functioning properly. Test headlights. Switch on the headlights and check both low and high beams. Try hazard lights. Press the hazard light button to make sure all 4 indicators are working. By following these steps, you should be able to replace your car's combination switch assembly with ease. Always ensure each function is working correctly before taking your car back on the road. Tips and precautions. Replacing a combination switch assembly isn't rocket science, but a few tips and precautions can make the process smoother and safer. First, let's talk about safety. Safety precautions. Safety should always come first when working on any car, especially when dealing with electrical components. Here are some critical safety tips to keep in mind. Wear gloves. Gloves protect your hands from sharp edges and potential electric shocks. They also help keep the components clean. Disconnect the battery. Always disconnect the negative terminal of your car's battery before you start. This prevents accidental shocks and shorts. Secure the vehicle. Ensure your car is parked on a flat surface and the parking brake is engaged. You don't want the car to move while you're working on it. Use eye protection. Safety glasses can protect your eyes from debris and any sparks that might fly during the process. Avoid static electricity. Ground yourself by touching a metal part of the car before handling any electrical connectors. Static electricity can damage sensitive components. Common mistakes to avoid. Even if you're handy with tools, it's easy to make mistakes. Here's how to dodge the most common pitfalls. Not labeling wires. Before you disconnect the wires from the old assembly, label them. This will make it easier to reconnect them correctly. Use masking tape and a pen for quick labels. Over-tightening screws. When securing the new assembly, don't over-tighten the screws. This can strip the threads or crack the plastic components. Snug is good enough. Forgetting to test components. After installing the new switch assembly, test each function before reassembling the steering column covers. It's easier to fix any issues now than after everything is back together. Skipping the manual. Always consult your vehicle's service manual. It often includes specific instructions and torque settings that are crucial for a proper installation. Ignoring small parts. Keep track of all screws and small components removed during the process. A magnetic tray or small container can help keep things organized. By following these safety precautions and avoiding common mistakes, you can ensure a smooth and hassle-free replacement of your car's combination switch assembly. Frequently asked questions. Replacing a combination switch assembly might seem complicated. But don't worry, you're not alone in wondering about the specifics. Here are some of the most frequently asked questions on the topic to help you understand better. How long does it take to replace a combination switch assembly? Replacing a combination switch assembly usually takes around 1 to 2 hours. This time can vary depending on your car's make and model. If it's your first time doing this, set aside a little more time to go through each step carefully. Experienced DIYers might complete the task faster, but taking your time can help you avoid mistakes. Can I replace the combination switch assembly myself? Yes, you can replace the combination switch assembly yourself, especially if you're comfortable with basic car repairs. Here's a quick checklist to see if you're up for it. Basic tools. Ensure you have the necessary tools like screwdrivers, a socket set, and trim removal tools. Follow instructions. Use a reliable guide or your vehicle's service manual to follow each step. Safety first. Always disconnect the battery to avoid electrical shocks. If you're not confident or don't have the required tools, it's best to seek professional help. Sometimes the cost of a mistake can be higher than a mechanic's fee. What if the new switch assembly doesn't work? If the new switch assembly doesn't work, don't panic. Here are some steps to troubleshoot the issue. Check connections. Make sure all wiring connectors are properly attached and secure. Inspect fuses. Sometimes a blown fuse can cause the new assembly to malfunction. Check and replace any faulty fuses. Double-check installation. Review your steps to ensure everything was done correctly. Small mistakes can lead to big problems. Test each function. Even if one part isn't working, test the other components. This can help pinpoint the issue. If you've tried these steps and it still doesn't work, the assembly might be defective. Contact the seller for a replacement or consult a professional mechanic. This section aims to clear up any lingering doubts you might have about replacing a combination switch assembly. When armed with the right information, you can tackle this project with confidence. Replacing a combination switch assembly is a practical skill that can save you time and money. You now know how to identify the signs of a faulty unit, the tools and materials needed, and the step-by-step process for a successful replacement. Properly functioning turn signals, wipers, headlights, and hazard lights are essential for safe driving. Ignoring these issues can lead to bigger problems down the road. By taking action now, you ensure your vehicle remains safe and reliable. Happy driving! Please comment, like, share, and subscribe for more automotive information like this. Thank you for watching.